My name is Anna, and I'm from Ukraine. I am a woman from Ukraine, and I am proud that in Ukrainian history there are many successful and famous women. And in our new episode of Discover Ukraine, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite, Princess Olha. Princess Olha, or Olha of Kyiv, or in Ukrainian, Knyaghinya Olha, is one of the brightest women in Ukrainian history. She is a legend, but she is also a real historical figure. We don't know exactly when she was born. Dates differ, starting from 890 up to 925. We don't know much about her life before the marriage to Prince Igor and the birth of their son Sviatoslav. But according to the primary chronicle, and most importantly, according to the character features of Knyaghinya Olha, she is perhaps of Viking origin, because she was very brave and very strong. Before we discover the main story of Olga's life, I have to introduce you to one tribe of drevlians. Drevlians had complex relations with Kyiv Rus that was developing and getting stronger. They were on joint military campaigns against Byzantium Emperor, and for a long period of time drevlians were paying tribute to Kyiv princes. And then they stopped. Igor decided that he wants these tributes back, and in 945 had a serious visit with lots of military men to make drevlians pay tribute. And he succeeded because he had a big army. Then he went back to Kyiv, but on his way home he decided that this tribute is not enough and he wants more. And he returned back to drevlians with a really small escort. Drevlians got really angry, and as he did not have many guards with him, they captured Prince Igor, tied his legs to trunks of 2 trees, and then separated them, thus tearing the Kyiv Rus king into 2. After Igor's death, Princess Olha ruled Kyiv Rus as a regent of her son Sviatoslav, who was really small at that time. And she was a very successful ruler, but also a very brave woman. As it was back in Middle Ages, people were weird in their presumptions, and drevlians decided that now Olha can marry their Prince Mal, who was actually responsible for the matter of her husband. That would have been a good union. So they sent 20 negotiators to ask Princess Olha to marry their drevlians prince. And when they came, Olha met them seriously and said that she understands nothing can return back her husband to life, so she is ready to marry. But to demonstrate her respect to drevlians, she asked them to stay in a boat so that her people will carry them on a boat to her palace. Drevlians liked the idea and agreed. They were carried to the palace, and in the yard of the palace, Olha prepared a really big trench. They were thrown with a boat in that trench and dug alive, buried alive. What is also good, back in that times, people had limited access to information, they didn't have social media, and no one in drevlians tribe knew about this event. So she sent a message to their lands saying that she is ready to get married, but to travel to Prince Mal, she needs a group of other very respected people to accompany her. And she was asking to send the best drevlian men to travel with her to their lands. And of course they did. When she met the second delegation, she also greeted them with respect and asked to have a bath. As soon as they entered the bathhouse, it was set on fire and all of them burned alive. In the lands of drevlians, they did not know about all of these tragedies that happened to their best men. Olha sent them another letter saying that now she is traveling together with all the negotiators back to their capital, Iskorostain. But on the way, she wants to pay tribute to her husband, to organize a funeral, and to drink some mead. So she was asking them to prepare a feast so that she can mourn her husband and later marry their prince. And on the way, she stopped. She was met by a huge number of drevlians who wanted to commemorate Igor's memory together with her. They drank, and when they got really drunk, Olha's army killed more than 5,000 drevlians, thus literally leaving the tribe without any serious men. Then, for almost a year, she was keeping their capital surrounded. They did not want to give up, and finally Olha decided to negotiate. And drevliane told her that they were afraid to give up because she would kill them. She said no, she only wanted tribute, and that the tribute was weird. She asked each house in the capital of Drevlian lands to give her 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows. People agreed because that was a very cheap tribute. When Drevlians gave her the birds, she asked her soldiers to attach a piece of sulfur and a piece of cloth to each of the birds. Then they set these elements on fire and released the birds. Birds have a habit to return to the houses in which they live, so they set all the capital of Drevlians ablaze. After her revenge, Olha returned peacefully to the capital of Kyiv Rus and ruled. Even when her son became the prince of Kyiv Rus, she continued to help him and remained in the city during his long military campaigns. In 950, she decided to travel to Constantinople and meet with its emperor Constantine VII. He liked Princess Olha a lot. He told her that they could rule the world together. And actually, that was a kind of a marriage proposal. Olha was very wise. She told him he cannot marry her because she is pagan, so first she has to be baptized. He agreed to be her godfather. And after she was baptized and he asked her to marry for the second time, she said, "It's impossible because you have become my spiritual father." Actually, she did not want to marry and lose her independence, same as the independence of Kyiv Rus. And Constantine VII was not angry at her because that was a very smart decision. Later, she became extremely active in the spread of Christianity, and she was even later canonized both by the Orthodox and the Catholic Church. I think that Princess Olha is a very interesting and inspiring heroine of our history. She was brave, she was smart, and she fought for justice. And many Ukrainian women share her character traits. So we will win this war. We must win. Women have always played an important part in Ukrainian life, and I hope that in future one day we will have a woman president. Thank you so much for the support that you demonstrate to my channel. Thank you for coffees and becoming my patrons. Subscribe if you want to discover Ukraine together with me.